I did fail a few college classes, and like I said, I don't regret it because I was happy. Even though I was mad about wasting money on those classes, I was still happy because I'm happy when I work on my business. And I was happy, even though I wasn't happy working at that time, I was happy working because I was working towards my goals. Me working all those overtime hours was for me to get things that I wanted in life. So hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Y'all should already know who it is, or you should know who it is. The CEO of iyetasti, heavy on CEO, got my necklace from Serenity Jewels. If you are new here, be sure to hit that subscribe button. If you are not new, welcome back. Y'all, this was a highly requested video. I mean, I already have videos like this on my channel, but I haven't posted a video like this since November. If you've been subscribed to my channel, then you know in November I did post a manifestation video. I am very big on manifestation. I even posted one in September when I did get my house. My house tour video is a manifestation video slash, speaking things into existence. And then in November, I did kind of one of those as well. And of course, I didn't get the views compared to the people that asked me for the video. And then here we are not a year later, but the next year, like 6 months later, I'm doing one of these videos and people have, watched me, whether they've been subscribed to my channel or not. People have watched me literally manifest, or they've heard me talk about things and they see me pop out with it. So they want to know how I get the things that I get. So that's what we are going to talk about in this video. If you've been watching my channel, then you know I'm very big on manifesting. I'm very big on speaking things to existence. I even had my own journals and they are not coming back. So if you didn't support them when they was out, you won't ever be able to get one because I do not plan on bringing those journals back. I dropped my manifestation journals, which was kind of why I uploaded the manifestation video in November, was because I did speak on having my own manifestation journals dropping. They were supposed to get here. They didn't get here till December, but my goal was for them to get here to by January so everybody can start working on their New Year's goals. So that was my goal for those journals. All my supporters went and copped, my heavy supporters went and copped one. So if you didn't cop one, I had plenty in stock right until, I was at the very 10, 20 left in stock. I would update every day on Instagram. They're officially sold out. So I'm super excited about it that they sold out in less than 3 months. And I had over 200 of them. So I'm really, really excited about that. So if you didn't get one, it's too late. It's too late, especially if you've been following me, you knew I had it and you didn't get it, but now all of a sudden you see me with things and you want to get it. It's too late. But I am big on journaling. I don't have all my journals in this room, but number one, when it comes to manifesting the life that you want, is journaling. And even with journaling, that was just something that was in me. That wasn't something like, I learned from somebody else. That was something that, I've been doing. So before I started my business, I bought me a journal from Dollar Tree, which you get you a journal. It won't be the same tasty effect, but you get you a journal from Dollar Tree for $1 and use that to set your goals. And when it comes to manifesting and speaking things into existence, it's not just about writing it down. Like I stated in that video, just because you're watching this video, even if you're new or if you've been watching me, just because you watch this video, you hear me talking about manifesting and writing it down, does not mean if you go to Dollar Tree right now, buy a $1 composition book, write, I want a G-Wagon, doesn't mean that tomorrow when you wake up, the G-Wagon will be outside. It's not just about writing it down. What steps are you going to take to get it? Because, y'all, anything is possible. Anything in this life is possible. Don't ever feel like a goal is too high for you to reach. It may take months. It may take years, but you can still get there. And that's one thing that people are not patient about. You got to trust the process. You have to trust the process. Don't expect something to happen overnight. Don't expect something to happen within a week. Don't expect something to happen within a month. It may take years, but you got to trust the process. Patience is key, and trusting the process is key. Y'all, if I look back at my life 3 years ago, 3.5 years ago, my business wasn't started. I was literally working 2 to 3 jobs, barely making $10 an hour per job. And I wanted the things that I have now. And honestly, I feel content with my life. I got me my house. I got me my car. My business is growing. I'm content. Of course, I'm still going to push up and reach further. I have other goals. But just looking back at my life a few years ago, I've come a long way, okay? This little girl from Queens has come a very, very, very long way. And sometimes I feel like us as people, we forget about how far we've come. So it's like times I'll beat myself up like, dang, like I need to be at this many subscribers, or dang, I need to have this many orders or this many followers. But we don't think about the progress that we've actually made. Because if I look back at my life, when I started my business 3 years ago, I didn't even have 50 followers when I launched my business. And now I'm almost at 50,000. So in just a 2 to 3 year mark, I went from like 50 followers to 50,000. Imagine that. Tell me, if I could look back at myself 3 years ago, I would have never seen this. I would have never seen this for myself. When I said I was determined to get a house with or without my business, but my Challenger, I've wanted a Challenger for so long. And I didn't just write it down. I worked towards it. I worked so much overtime at work, barely getting any sleep because I was running my business while working all this overtime, sometimes 5:30 in the morning to 7:30 at night, 12 to 13 hours just to save up to get what I want. It's not just about writing it down. If you want a Challenger, if you want a Range Rover, whatever car you want to get, you can get it. You can get it. Even if it's within the next 2 to 3 years, you can definitely get it. But what are you going to do? I feel like writing it down is like a reminder. Because when I was in school, I was one of those people that I had to write it down to remember. Like when the teacher is going through a PowerPoint and stuff, and you could like watch it. I write it down so it registers in my brain. So that's the type of learner I am. I write it down. When it comes to studying for quizzes, I use flashcards. So that's kind of like with my journal. I write it down. I wrote down graduating. I wrote down, my car. I wrote getting my house. I wanted to get a charger. And I also have a visual vision board in my phone. So even if you have not been doing this whole time, you can still start now. Think about one thing that I like to tell people to do is get a sheet of paper or in your notebook or journal and split the page in half. On one half of the page, you want to write where you are right now. And on the other half of the page, you want to have where you want to be. So when I did this 2 to 3 years ago, I want to say 2 years ago, at that point in my life, I had just my Challenger. It was purple at the time. I wrote this October of 2020. So I still remember what the page looks like. I have it. So on what I have now was purple Challenger, living with my parents, working my 9 to 5. That was like the 3 things that I had, and going to school. Those were the top 4 things. I'm not going to say everything I had on the list, but that was the top 4 things I had on. Going to school, working my 9 to 5, purple Challenger, and living with my parents. On the other side, going to school, what was my future? Graduating. Working my 9 to 5, what was my future? Being a full-time entrepreneur. Having a purple Challenger, what was my future? Having a pink Challenger. And so on and so forth. So I feel like when you do that, y'all, when I look back now, I'm like, wow, I accomplished that. Like the last thing on my list was to be a full-time entrepreneur. And I am proud to say that I am finally a full-time entrepreneur. And like I said in my I Quit My Job video, if you have not watched that video, I highly recommend you watching that video, especially if you are still working your 9 to 5 job and you are a business owner. Definitely watch my I Quit My Job video before you quit your job. Highly recommend. Highly recommend. I've had people say, somebody was like, I wanted to quit my job until I saw your video. But not for real. Like, if you haven't seen that video, I highly recommend watch the video I Quit My Job. It's probably like 2 months ago because I recently quit my job. It hasn't been months yet. But writing things down, working towards it. So again, I said I wanted to be a full-time entrepreneur. What did I do? I worked towards it. I said I wanted a pink Challenger. What did I do? I worked towards saving for it. You have to put in the work, whether you're a business owner or not watching this video. If you want that luxury apartment, What are you going to do to get there? Even if you want to move to a totally different state, how are you going to get there? What are you going to do? Are you going to work extra hours at work to save money? Are you going to cut down on your monthly expenses? That's another thing that you can do when it comes to reaching your goals, if it is like luxury type of things, because luxury means different, to everybody. Like if you're trying to get a luxury car, or a car you consider luxury, a home or an apartment, a bag, you have to cut out your monthly expenses. So another thing that you can do in your journal is make a list of all your monthly expenses, whether it's your rent, car note, phone bill, wax, nails, Netflix. You want to make a list of all your monthly expenses. And if your goal is to get a Range Rover in 2 years, what are you going to do for the next? What are you going to sacrifice for the next 2 years to get that Range Rover? Are you not going to get your nails done for 2 years? Because if you calculate, say you spend about $100 on your nails every month or every 2 weeks, and that's $200 a month, times it by 12, times it by 2 years, that's how much money you're saving, and you can set aside for this goal. I hope I'm making sense. I really hope I'm making sense. But to reach your goals, you have to sacrifice. You have to sacrifice. You have to sacrifice your time. The time that you would use to go clubbing on a Friday, Saturday night, you're now having to use to work on your business. The time you would have been using to do something else, you're using it to work towards your goals. So to reach your goals, it's definitely a lot of sacrifices, whether it's cutting out your expenses or cutting out time. It's definitely a lot of sacrifices. But if you really want this stuff, you're going to make those sacrifices. I've always been journaling. When I said I'm going to get me, and y'all, honestly, when I wrote, that's why I try to tell y'all anything is possible, because even I thought some of my goals were unreachable. Even me thinking that I was going to get 1,000 followers on Instagram to me a few years ago seemed unreachable. Even me getting my charger seemed unreachable because I already had a car. If you've been subscribed, been on my lives, y'all know I'm obsessed with Challengers and Chargers, and I wanted both. I wanted a Challenger first, but I also wanted a Tesla at the time, but I was just too obsessed with Challengers that I was like, and then I also, at the time, I was going to be moving back to New York, and like the charging of the charger, the Tesla situation was like, because if you get it in your house, they have to come install the charger. So that was just too stressful for me. So I was like, we're going to stick to the Challenger. But I still got my list that I said Challenger/Tesla. It was on the wall in my parents' house. I still have it. So, I was obsessed with both. After I got my Challenger, I was like, dang, I still want a charger. And I remember, y'all, I posted it on Instagram, and I was like, I'm going to get this for my 24th birthday. And even when I posted it, I thought I was capping. I was like, do I really want to post this? Like, I want this charger. People going to be like, girl, you already got a car. And what you need a charger for? But guess what, y'all? I'm 24 and I got my charger and my Challenger. So if I could be here, if it's one thing I can tell y'all from this whole video, is anything is possible. Don't doubt yourself. When you want to achieve your goals, you have to think nothing but positive thoughts. You can't think negative. One thing that I did do was think negative in the very beginning, because it can be discouraging, when people aren't supporting your business like that. You get discouraged, you get sad, but you want to think positive. If you started your business for the right reasons, and if you're kind of like a vision person like me, like I see my future, I see myself living a certain lifestyle. I'm not going to like project everything that I see in my head as I'm speaking, but I see myself living a certain lifestyle, and I'm just patiently waiting to get there. Like, I see myself doing do. I'm just waiting on it to get there. And you got to trust the process. For you, it may take a year. For me, it may have taken 6 months. For the next person, it may take 2 months. But you got to trust the process, be patient. And the next thing I want to get into is focusing on yourself. Nowadays, all people want to do is compare. They see me with something, must be nice. Those of y'all that are on my TikTok, y'all have seen like must be nice, or I can't even get an order. Why are you even throwing a pity party? If you're not getting no orders, you need to be figuring out, how am I going to get some orders? And I'm sorry, y'all, I talk with my hands. But let me put my hands down. But stop comparing yourself to other people. Do not ever compare yourself. Whether you know this person or not, me and you could both be in Dallas. Me and you could both be selling lashes, but at the end of the day, we're still not going to have the same amount of growth with our businesses. We're still not going to reach the same amount of stuff. I honestly feel like that's something that people don't realize is they'll see something on social media, whether we're the same age or not, and they'll be like, I'm trying to be like you. Everybody's journey is different. We live two different walks of life. I was still working my job till about 2 months ago. So I'm able to network to my coworkers. I'm able to sell products to this person. They're able to tell this person. You may not be working your job, so you can't reach as many people as me. I'm able to reach people on social media. I'm able to reach people in person, and then those people promote for me. You may not have that same effect. So again, how do you expect to be at the same place as somebody when y'all are not? You don't even know what I got going on behind closed doors. And nowadays, people just come across my page because a lot of people, since my posts went viral, I have already quit my job when my post was going viral recently. So people are coming to my page and seeing all these things, and they're thinking that like lashes is the reason, which my business did help, but nah, I've been working and saving. I've been working my behind off, okay? The past 2 to 3 years, working 2 to 3 jobs. I literally started my business with my leftover salon money. About 4 years ago, I graduated cosmetology school. It was probably 5 years ago. I graduated cosmetology school. I started doing hair. I realized that booth rent was not for me. All the money that I made, I had set aside for a rainy day, and that was the money that I risked to start my business. That was what I started iyetasti with. I did also add my personal money, and for like the first year of my business, I was working so much overtime to not only help fund my business, but also set aside for my moving needs because like I've been stating, I was supposed to move back to New York at the time I started my business. That's what I was working towards, was saving to move back. So I was working so much because I was setting aside money to get a house or get a condo, and also putting money back into my business. So I was a workaholic. I was working morning to night, then come home and work on my business and try to do my schoolwork. I was failing classes because I couldn't keep up because I was neglecting my schoolwork, which I highly don't recommend, but my priorities was my business. So, I mean, I don't regret what I did. I'm not going to say, I recommend y'all don't do that. Like, I'm not saying this to tell y'all to fail your classes or anything like that. I'm just saying from my experience, I failed a few classes in college because I neglected my schoolwork because my business was what was important to me. I was a workaholic, and working towards my goals and working on my business was what my priorities were. It wasn't really college. And, I knew at the end of the day, I wasn't going to work a job with whatever my degree was in. So it's like, at the end of the day, this is just a backup plan. 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 This is just, to say I went to college, because nowadays, if you don't go to college, people act like something's wrong with you. The whole time I was in college, people was like, are you not in school? First of all, I'm in school. Just because I don't speak on it don't mean I'm not in school. But what if I wasn't in school? What would the problem be? So it's kind of like a backup plan. It's extra job security. So God forbid, if anything does happen to my business, I can always go back to doing hair. I can always get a job. I have a backup plan. But I did fail a few college classes, and like I said, I don't regret it because I was happy. Even though I was mad about wasting money on those classes, I was still happy because I'm happy when I work on my business. And I was happy, even though I wasn't happy working at that time, I was happy working because I was working towards my goals. Me working all those overtime hours was for me to get things that I wanted in life. So I was happy. I feel like this video is getting extra long, but again, if you want to manifest the life that you want to live, if you want to manifest everything, you want to write it down, you want to speak positivity, you don't want to be negative about anything, you want to be positive at all times, download the I Am app. That is something that helps me be positive throughout the day. I have an app called I Am, and you can set it, to how many times a day that you want positive, inspirational, motivational quotes to come through on your phone. Writing it down. I journal I have several different journals. I have my actual journal that I created. I have my composition book I bought from Dollar Tree. I have journals I bought in from other people, like I purchased from other people. And then I've had people send journals to me / planners. So I use, every one of them have their own purpose. Like I have one strictly for my business goals. Like every month I evaluate my business. I set a goal for myself. So say for the month of May, if I set a goal of this many subscribers, this many followers, this many orders at the end of the month. And then I also write what I'm going to do to work towards that. If I want 100 orders this month, what am I going to do to work towards that? What am I going to do to make sure I get these 100 orders? If I want this many subscribers, what am I going to do to get X amount of subscribers? And then at the end of the month, I go through it. If I did accomplish it, I'll check it off. If I do not accomplish it, I'll just put it towards the next month and I'll accomplish it the next month or maybe next 2 months. Because sometimes I set extremely high goals for myself and sometimes I reach it. So that's why I said no matter how high a goal might be, it still can be reachable. Like y'all, like I've been telling y'all, I'm at 30,000 followers on TikTok. My goal was 25K by my birthday. If you've been on my TikTok live from last year, I said my goal is to hit, I'm turning 25. My birthday's the 25th. It's golden. I am trying to hit 25,000 followers on TikTok by June 25th. And we hit it in May. I want to say we hit it in May. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this little motivational talk. Writing it down, manifesting, and then you also got to be prayed up, which I feel like I shouldn't have to say that, but you definitely have to be prayed up. You definitely want to pray over your business every single day. I pray over my business every day. I mean, I pray every single day, but you want to pray over your business. You want to pray over your goals. You want to pray for guidance. So you also want to stay prayed up. You want to keep your goals to yourself, whether it's your friends or family. Of course, you might, say, let people know what you got going on, but you don't want to tell everything that you have going on because you don't know who's meaning well for you. Not everybody's happy for you. Just because somebody's your friend, just because you are blood related with somebody does not mean that they want to see you succeed in life. So you definitely want to stay prayed up and keep your things to yourself. But if you enjoyed this video and you're not subscribed, what are you doing, sis? Hit that subscribe button. Follow me on Instagram. Follow my personal page. Follow my business page, which hopefully by the time this video goes up, we are closer to 50,000 followers on Instagram. Bye-bye, y'all.